Marvel fans. Armand here for E equals MCU. Doing my morning stroll. It's gonna be a real quick video today, being as there's not really that much news. Everybody is waiting for the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, which, per sources, a Sony CEO confirmed that it would be coming March 18th, which I believe is on Wednesday. So we should be getting that trailer this week. Again, to go along, March 18th. There's some exciting things coming as far as the news. We got another Daredevil 30-second teaser. So there has been new information, not new information, but there was a couple of new scenes. Like they had the Matthew Lillard, scene where he was in it. It's going to be very interesting to see how they balance everything with only 9 episodes this season, because it does seem like there's a lot going on. The black suit, which we got a better look at it, it appears to be a red suit that he somehow painted or spray painted black over it. So, I don't know. I guess the purpose of showing us in season 1, they kind of showed us the 5 helmets to show that he had potentially 5 different suits. And within that, it looked like he already had a black suit. So the fact that he's doing the spray, it has to be explained, but the suit looks great. Like, I do love the fact that we finally get the suit. He threw some D's on that bitch. And, yeah, the suit looks real good. So, yeah, we already know we got all of the returning cast coming back. I think the question is now, a lot of people are asking is, will Mike Coulter's Luke Cage show up by the end of this thing? Which I'm hoping it's not even just at the end. But yes, I do hope that he does show up. I hope that he does make an appearance. And I'm just pulling in here. I think I'm crooked. And yeah, and then other thing is, what death are we gonna get this season? They've been hinting and teasing that somebody's gonna die, and I think I know who it is. And to that, I think I found an Easter egg that nobody else has caught, and I don't know if this is something that was planned or if this is something that just so happens to be. But the character that I think that is going to get killed in this season, I think it's gonna be Cherry. I think that's who. It looked like Kingpin had somebody tied up and he was all bloody, and it was a bald head man. And I had to go back and rewatch it a few times, and I think that's Cherry. I think that's Detective Cherry. Now, the funny thing is, from the Easter egg, as you guys know, I have been going back and watching Jessica Jones in reverse for whatever reason. Like, I was a little hazy on season 3. So I went back to remind myself what exactly happened in season 3, which then subsequently led me to figuring out, well, what happened in season 2, because I feel like I missed something from season 2. Which then subsequently has now led me back to going to season 1, just because that was the best season, and I was trying to figure out what was the difference. And there was a couple of things that I noticed. Number one, Netflix did something with their cameras. I don't know if any of you realize that, but the first 2 seasons of Daredevil and the first season of Jessica Jones had a grittier camera texture. And I think at first you would feel like this was done intentionally, like they put some sort of filter on the camera. But in going back and looking at some of the other ones, like the Iron Fist series, the Luke Cage series, or at least Luke Cage season 2. I think Luke Cage season 1 actually had the darker cameras, but Luke Cage season 2, Punishers, Defenders. It was almost like when they did Defenders, I kind of felt like they had maybe gotten the red cameras, and that was the standard for all Netflix shows was to use the red cameras. And if anybody doesn't know what those are, look them up. They're very high end, very expensive, very good cameras, but it's pretty much at this point they're like 10 years in. So it's pretty much become standard for most shows and everything. Like even the pilot that I shot, they had a red camera on the little rotator thing. So um, you can definitely tell there's a difference. There's a cleanliness to Jessica Jones season 2 and 3 that was not in season 1. Season 1 was just had more of a grittier feel to it, and I think that's what people loved about it so much. And then there was the character dynamic of introducing Luke Cage and having him being investigated. You introduce Malcolm, he has his little plot twist. You introduce Trish, which the one thing I can say is they were very clear and intentional and yeah, they were very clear and intentional with Trish as far as her character development, where she was gonna go, her whole character development. They were actually very clear with it. Like it started in season 1, you saw her going down the path she ended up on in season 3, and that was kind of rewarding just from the standpoint of just being consistent, with the character. Like she was who she was in season 1, she was who she was in season 3, and you could actually understand how she got to where she got. But they had those two introduced. They had that stuff going on. They had the Luke Cage stuff going on, and then they had the Kilgrave stuff going on. And I just think that dynamic of everything that was going on made for a better season. Because by the time you get to season 2 and 3, she didn't really have a villain, and then she had the stuff, and it's just like you get into the stuff with her mom, and then you get into stuff with the guy that was the serial killer, and really, with it being a PI show, they should have. They could have done like a villain of the week kind of thing, or like every 3 episodes, and just go through the process of her solving it. Like, yes, she's a superhero with superpowers, but her real superpower is the fact that she's a really good PI detective, and it wouldn't be, especially for a serialized television, it wouldn't be bad to just have a show where she's just going through and doing something like that, and then every now and then you could pop up somebody from the comics or something. But that's just my 2 cents on it. But the thing that I wanted to share, what I found when I went back and watched episode 1 of season 1 of Jessica Jones, Agent Kim from Daredevil Born Again season 1 is in the first episode and pops up. And I wonder if this is intentional, because when I went back and looked, they never said what Agent Kim's first name was. And in Jessica Jones, they never said what her character's last name was. So for those of you who don't know, she was the friend of the young girl who Kilgrave used to murder her parents in the first episode. She was a friend of her, and Jessica Jones goes to ask her, what happened, and her brother was there. I'm gonna look very hard, because she will be in season 2 of Daredevil, to see if anything pops up to hint that maybe is the same character, or is this just another case of like Agent Sousa playing a police officer in Avengers, and then playing a Shield, Agents of Shield, and a Shield agent in Agent Carter. It could be the same. They just got like the actor and brought him back for a different role. But they left it open enough to where that could be Agent Kim's origin story, in a sense, or just background, because she's there in New York. She was there. She was younger, and then she just ended up becoming a detective because of what happened to her friend. Like, she would have to know the story of what happened to her friend, and that's what inspired her to become a detective. So I'm going to be looking for that. I still need to rewatch Daredevil Born Again season 1 this week before we get into it next week. And maybe there was something there that I missed that they dropped, but let me know if you caught that, if any of you guys caught that, that is the same character, or if you even care, because it's a lower character. But I thought that was interesting. And yeah, man, if they are gonna do a Jessica Jones revival on Disney Plus, I wonder if she'll be the detective that carries over from Daredevil to continue with that and maybe even build upon that story, because I don't know if she has Agent the one guy. I don't know if they're gonna bring him back. I can't remember what his name was. He lost his partner, and then yeah, the whole thing with the mom and everything. But yeah, maybe Agent Kim's the new agent that she's in touch with, or detective that she's in touch with, to do whatever she's doing. So it's gonna be cool to catch up. I am excited. I hope you guys are too. Let's get ready for this Spider-Man brand new day trailer, man. I'll see if anything pops up for tomorrow. Until tomorrow, peace.